Top 5 Kubernetes Interview Questions. You are working on a project that involves deploying a multi-tier application on a Kubernetes cluster. One of the components of the application is experiencing high traffic and you need to scale up the number of replicas to handle the load. How would you go about scaling up the replicas in Kubernetes? Second question. You have deployed a batch processing job on a Kubernetes cluster using a deployment object. The job is expected to run for several hours and complete successfully. However, you notice that the job is failing after a few minutes with an error message. How would you troubleshoot the issue and determine the root cause of the failure? Third question. You have deployed a Kubernetes cluster on a public cloud platform and are using a load balancer service to expose a web application to external clients. You notice that the application is not accessible from the internet and are unable to access the load balancer IP address. What could be some potential issues that you would consider when troubleshooting this problem? Fourth question. You are working on a project that involves deploying a stateful application on a Kubernetes cluster. The application stores data in a persistent volume that is mounted to the pods. You need to perform maintenance on the underlying storage infrastructure and will need to take the application offline for a few hours. How would you go about gracefully shutting down the application and preserving the data in the persistent volume? Fifth question. You have deployed an application on a Kubernetes cluster and are using a horizontal pod autoscaler, HPA, to automatically scale the number of replicas based on CPU utilization. You notice that the HPA is not scaling the replicas as expected and the application is experiencing performance issues. How would you troubleshoot the issue and determine the root cause of the HPA's behavior?